Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to speak about the things that are important to our healing journey. And starting off that list is one conscious thought that started her. I know that people say that healing journey starts when things falling apart, but the thing is, important things in our lives are falling apart all the time. And normally we don't see anything spiritual happening. So what is the difference here, right? Well, it takes one conscious thought to actually start it all. And it is to acknowledge that nothing happened outside of yourself. Is that you finally have to decide that you will accept the truth that you might be the cause of your own suffering, even though you haven't figured out how yet. And none of us do at that point. We only gain knowledge about the how later. I know it's not the easiest decision to make, and oftentimes before we're awakened, the voice of our ego is pretty loud. But if you don't allow your mind to accept the truth, your brain will never truly see or accept the knowledge that is being brought to you, because it is. Previously, your mind just never think that this knowledge is relevant to you. Therefore, a lot of the time, your brain just ignores it. And this stunts your growth, preventing you to quantum leap into another reality. And this is not theory. It's actually based on my own experience, my own healing journey. But in my case, it's a little bit different. You see, Buddhism teaches that marital karmas are actually roles being switched in relationship context that happened in the past life and in this one. For example, if you hurt somebody emotionally in a past life, then in this one, the roles are reversed. And this is one of the rooted beliefs of the Asian Buddhist, like myself. So my healing journey started when I decided that I was the cause of this suffering, and that I must have done something to this person in my past life. So now the roles are reversed. I started to look at myself from the outside view, of course. I started to understand that if right now I feel this huge amount of pain, then I must have brought the same amount of pain to that person in my past life. And that was the reason. Trust me, it was never easy. It was not even hard. It was extremely difficult to accept the responsibility for something you couldn't know for sure that had happened. But I will tell you, even though that is painful, that it was painful for me at that moment, it was also liberating, because I realized that I had just cleared out a very big debt. I remember I just fell to the ground crying, but in that moment I didn't feel the hatred towards the other person at all. It was that liberating. But that doesn't mean that I forgave him, okay? The hatred still came at many times after that. Later, I understand that this was my ego trying to protect itself. But having known that I have cleared out such a huge debt that I would have to pay anyway, regardless of the when and the how in this lifetime, it just helped me to recover from that grief faster and faster. And I was able to move on. We're not saying that it would be the same scenario for other people, or it should be the same, but rather hoping that this might help somebody who's on the brink of awakening to take the action and step out of that loop of living unhealed, or if possible, to encourage the person who is already on the healing journey to be courageous enough to use his or her stories to help other people overcoming difficulties in healing. So let me know if this resonates with you or your stories now in the comment below. Bye for now. See you soon.